Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Raad Life. Today, I wanted to bring on a friend of the show and somebody that is very much an inspiration. I had the pleasure to have him on the show a couple of years ago, actually. And at that time, he was the youngest yoga instructor in the country, certified, Tabay Atkins. And he and his mother Sahel is going to be joining us from Hawaii, which is where they moved to. They used to live in San Clemente. They still have a location in San Clemente, but they are currently sequestered on the island of Maui. So let us get a hold of them here and see what it's like island living during the coronavirus. Let's see if they are on island time, or are you guys on island time, or are you like, oh, wait, hold on. There they are. Okay.
Hi.
I was saying, I wonder what it's like on the island, during the coronavirus crisis. Is it any different from normal island living, island time?
Well, right now we're actually in our cabin in Lake Arrowhead.
But we have. Oh, well, yeah. What is it about you guys? You're just like a moving target. Like, I don't know where you are. Are you in San Clemente? Are you in Arrowhead? Are you in Maui? I mean, what the heck?
All of it. We just keep rotating. We make our rounds,
Yes.
We've been keeping in touch with our neighbor on Maui,
Yeah.
and she said it's like ghost town. It went from bad to worse. On Sunday, they closed all the beaches. All the hotels have been closed.
All the
Parks. You can't.
everything is closed.
If you go out, mask or no mask, you will be fined $5,000. You can't even.
Wow. So what? Okay. So this is kind of really strange because you guys are in Arrowhead. You're not that far away. But here's the thing. We have San Clemente roots, and right now, as of this morning, I was told that the beaches in San Clemente. It wasn't just the county. The county supervisors, I think it was yesterday or the day before, opened up the county beaches.
Okay.
Now, again, right now, you can't just go by what somebody says to you as a headline. You have to actually look closer to what that means, because I saw something that said the county of Orange County supervisors opened up the county beaches. Okay, great. Then I heard this morning that the city of San Clemente opened up the city beaches, and I'm like, okay, were there any guidelines given? Were there any kind of like things happen? And so ironic that you're saying that, up till last week, as I'm guessing, up till last week on the islands, Maui at least, or in Hawaii, the beaches were open and then they closed them. So it's like opposite world. Here's somebody who's closing the beaches, and here's somebody who's opening the beaches. And then when I looked, and in fact, what you just said is that they will, if somebody's walking around without protective gear or something, they will be cited and fined $5,000, right?
Yes, but even if they don't, even if they are covered, even if they have their mask, if they're wearing gloves, now you can't be out. So what happened was.
So this is not just the beaches. This is just being out.
This is everywhere. This is absolutely everywhere. The parks, the pools, just walking around anywhere. I mean, you can go to the store and back, and that's it. But there's been a few more cases on Maui, people getting the coronavirus. So that's why I think they took this extra measure of just being like, you know what, we need to just stop this before it gets worse.
Right.
Well, and again, like I said, it's kind of interesting because you really, these days, things are so, this has been such a moving target from day one, right? Things are changing so fast, whether it's how work is or whether you have a job or you don't have a job. Like everything has been moving so fast, including this, where I looked at the actual details at least as reported by the San Clemente Times today, and it basically said that this was an effort by surfers who organized and wanted to get back in the water. So when the title says beach city opens up beaches, it really didn't mesh with what was then being said in the article. What was really happening is that access to the ocean was now being made possible.
Right.
But being on the beach, you couldn't sit on the sand. You couldn't just, take a beach chair and go hang out for a couple of hours. Even if you were maintaining maybe a 6-foot distance or more, you had to keep on moving. So the parking is not open. The beaches, the sand basically utilization is not available. It's being in the water that's available. So why are we giving people, as the weekend approaches, this misunderstanding that, hey, show up with your beach ball and your beach chair and your umbrellas and just, throw down your blanket and hang out, because that's not what's being said. And then does that mean that people are going to get fined, like you're saying basically is happening in Hawaii? I mean, it's just such a like crazy thing that's going on.
I also just saw someone posted, my sister sent me a video on Del Mar. They were protesting, and they had no
protective gear.
Nobody had their masks on,
or gloves or anything.
gloves, nothing. And they
Okay, so
were,
yes, and that's been happening this week. I mean, in Huntington Beach, there was guys that basically had a sign that said #deny science, #incite violence. I'm going, wow, that's a positive message. I mean, I know you didn't like beat anybody up, but you got it on a sign and you're walking around with it. I mean, like, a little weird. And so it's really kind of like a tough time. But I want to ask you something, because the premise of the protests, although I'm personally crying bullshit on it, okay? But the premise of hey, it's my show. I can say bullshit if I want to, right? They're going to take me off the air after 5 years, fine. You can do that, but all right. But the premise was, let's give it all the benefit of the doubt. The premise was, people are tired of being at home, not being able to operate their businesses, and they want to be in business. And I totally get that. I totally understand that, right? However, what was really kind of also, I think, being missed, and you're a business owner, so I'm going to ask you that, because you actually conduct your business out at a studio where people show up and there's a proximity. And last time I looked, you don't have 6 feet distance between yoga mats, okay? I mean, right? There's probably, you're probably already in violation when people show up and you hug them, right? I mean, that's, you're already potentially, somebody's like signing you up for all kinds of fines. Oh, hugging happening, wait, hold on, they got really close, and like that's I mean, forget it. And then you're going to basically make sure that people are in the right position. Oh, that's it. I'm signing you up for all that kind of stuff, right?
That pose was too close to the other person.
Yep. I mean, they used to say 3 feet apart in Catholic school, like dances. Now this is 6 feet apart, right? I mean, it's like we've doubled the Catholicism of this personal space. But all things being serious, you as a business owner are now given an opportunity to reopen your business. And your business is a high-touch business. It is maybe not hands-on, but it is definitely close proximity. Would you, as a business owner right now, given the opportunity to open your business, would you open your business?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. I mean, and then when you look at the guidelines, which is exactly my feelings, like, as a business owner, is it a good, smart business decision to open your business?
No, because I'm thinking you could potentially, most likely, make it worse.
Right.
And it's like, just be a little bit more patient, and then get to a point where you don't have to worry. But to open it just because I don't know if you're desperate to open it or whatever the reason is, you can make it worse and have to shut down altogether. You could expose someone, you could expose yourself, and then there won't be any you, and there won't be any business, right?
Well, and I asked the question today, and to sort of my attorneys in my circle, and it was a question that was posed not because to try to do a scare tactic, but to ask the question because we live in a litigious society. So, what if somebody basically opens their business and then somebody, maybe provable, not provable, says, I went and frequented that business after they reopened, and then I basically, found out that I had contracted coronavirus. So now, are you basically, as a business, in jeopardy? Do you have coronavirus insurance? I mean, is there such a thing?
Insurance that covers that?
Are they selling coronavirus insurance? I mean, they don't sell earthquake insurance in California. Are they going to sell you a coronavirus insurance? Right?
I am lucky because I am able to still teach my classes, and I just do it. Both of us, we do our classes daily. Online,
right? And it's perfect. That's perfect timing, right? Because I was going to get to this, right? Like, you explored the idea of doing classes online. You kind of maybe played with it a little bit, but this may have pushed you into making it a more legitimate offering. And now you have this thing. Well, I know you guys were early adapters. You didn't wait to coronavirus to do this. But my point is, people, and I've had some people on there, were maybe pushed into basically finding an alternative way to provide their service. And it wasn't so much the money, but to provide what the benefits of the service that they were offering was for people and especially when it comes to fitness and health, especially when they're sequestered, it's like even more reason that you need to have that, like, you know, having that restorative yoga class, having access to maybe like a lead training on, you know, boxing or whatever in a virtual way online. And so here you are, you've adjusted to this. And let's say for just for argument's sake that you are a person that didn't do that so much before, and now you are doing it. You've been doing it for over 30 days, okay? So now it's a legitimate offering of a way you're conducting your business. You may not have as many people signing up for your online classes yet, because it's a new offering than you did maybe in your physical environment, but you have a legitimate offering now through your business. And now you're being told by those who basically are not running your business necessarily, right? By other people, they say, you know, it's time, you can't control my freedom, you can't tell me to stay at home, businesses should open. And I'm like, yeah, you can open your business all day long, buddy, but if the people that are going to frequent your business psychologically are not ready to leave their home and basically put themselves in danger potentially of being out, you just basically took your great situation of basically having your rent deferred, possibly your utilities and bills be deferred, and you are now officially saying, no, I am back in business. So your doors are open, your rent is now due, your electrical bills are now due, all your things are now due. You may not have even been able to secure supplies for maintaining the cleanness and the compliance that you need to do that way, because last time I looked, those supplies were not readily available. I mean, you know, we're still having a shortage of things. So as a business owner, you're now strained in the operations of your business. You have to retool your business now to have things like POSs that basically have no touch, things that, you know, provide sanitary stations for your employees, for your guests, maintain physical distancing and social distancing while operating your business, and you don't have as much foot traffic as you would have normally had.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, what was the business decision to be made here?
Just stay home, get creative.
I mean, like, so you showed up and you basically protested, which I'm calling, like I said, you can guise it as being getting back to business, but I think there was a lot of more influencing political and weaponization of that particular topic when it came to the rallies, because nobody shows up and the only motivation is to open business and says hashtag deny science, hashtag, you know, incite violence. Right. I mean, if you walked into a business that said hashtag incite violence, they say, well, sorry, we reserve the right to refuse service to anybody, and you're it. Bye-bye. Right. There's the door. Bye. Right. Bye. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all from a business. And I wanted you as a person who is in a high touch industry to basically weigh in, because I thought it was just me, but here you're a business owner. You're the one that basically is on the front lines if you open your business.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do, not especially, I wouldn't do it because I have kids, I have adults, all ages that come to our studio. But me being a cancer survivor, I mean, even my oncologist was like, you're not flying back to Maui, you're not going anywhere, I want you to stay put. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna take a chance.
Well, and your dad was just on the camera with us before we went live, right? I mean, it's like you've got multi-generation like I do.
Yes. And we've been doing. Luckily for us, we have been, because we travel and we're back and forth. We live part-time there, part-time here. We've been doing online classes for our clients.
Right.
In California, San Clemente, Orange County, when we're in Hawaii. And when we're here, we've been doing private sessions for our clients regularly, weekly, in Hawaii. So for us, this wasn't new, but we, of course, it's been now all the people that would normally come to our studio when we're in San Clemente are doing it online with us.
Yeah, you've ramped up. I mean, you had an offering of and you had this sort of little side thing that was building, and now it went into hyper speed because it was available. So it's actually great. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, you guys have been digital nomads, if you will, for a long time. Because of the fact that you chose a lifestyle, which meant that you were physically in different locations. And so in order to maintain the business, to grow what your offering is, grow your clientele, you adapted this thing. It's like people say, oh, we're remote working. I said, I've been remote working for 20 years. Remote working. It's not really, not that in itself is no different. You know, being able to go see, I guess I'm popular. I don't know. My phone is like going crazy.
I thought it was our
That's notifications. So, yeah. It's all these people that are trying to get on the show. So for us that have been remotely working for so long, both not only out of necessity, but out of choice, because we've chosen not to have overheads that are crazy, fixed costs, the flexibility to be able to have our own hours that way. And people who work for us extended that to them. That in itself was not an issue. The ability to see parents, to be able to see people, family members, not feel like you're putting people at jeopardy by exposing them. That has been the difficult part, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I've been doing on my Instagram Live every Friday, a free live yoga class. So people, while they're staying at home, they can take my classes and they can do it live on my Instagram so that they don't have to go anywhere.
And he does that in addition to all the other classes that we do privately on his website. Yeah. He offers a free weekly class during the pandemic, just for everyone in the world to join.
Yeah, and then it's also good because a lot of people who haven't been able to take my classes
now
live and in person, they now get to take my classes.
Yeah.
Well, Tabay, let me take a minute here, because I think for people who don't know you, and I'm going to put that picture up with the links for your stuff. Great picture, by the way. You look totally stressed in that picture, by the way. I mean, you're so stressed, your hair is frizzy. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the normal condition. But okay, but let's take a minute and just give people a little bit of background. All I did before I put you guys on is I said you've been on the show before. When you were on the show, you were like the youngest, yoga instructor, certified yoga instructor in the world, and your mom basically had. I didn't say this, but I will share it. Your mom had offered you an alternative to do. Hey, how about you do this for your whatever? Let's go to Paris, and you're like, no, Mom. You're not going to go to Paris. I'm going to go get certified to be a yoga instructor. Yeah. 300 hours, I think it was. So
200 hours.
How many? 200 hours?
It was during my summer break after finishing elementary school.
And we were planning this.
We had a plan before we knew about the training that was happening. We had a plan to go to Europe.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And then
I think your mom was probably more looking forward to that too, but I'm just...
we also found out that in the same time there was a 200-hour teacher training going on, and I've been wanting to take a training for 200 hours. So I decided she gave me the choice to either go to Europe or take the training.
I wanted to see how serious he was, you know, because he's like, oh, I want to go to Europe. And I'm like, oh, okay. This training is here at the same time. What do you want to do? Thinking he was going to tell me, okay, I'll do the training next year.
Oh, Europe for sure. Training can wait. Right?
And he didn't even think twice.
Yeah, I didn't even hesitate. I chose the training right away because this was very important to me.
So I'm just trying to build a timeline here. When was that? Like, you had just gotten it, or had it been a couple of months when you got on the show the first time?
I think it was right away. He was 10 years old.
I was 10 years old I was actually 11 years old when we were on
your show. He was 11.
But I was 10 when I got certified.
Okay, how old are you now?
14.
Okay, so it's been a bit, right? I mean, and so you've been busy.
Yes.
Right. I mean, Mr. I had to find out what was going on with you by reading the magazine. Okay, where's that magazine? Where's that yoga magazine? Okay, yeah, let's look that up. Is that a current one or last month's, or it's just recent?
It's the March-April 2020 edition of Yoga Journal magazine.
Yeah, so that there, right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a person who is very stressed out in his life. He is, he's living life the way that most of us want to live our lives. And how's it been? I mean, how's it been to be on this path? I haven't talked to you about it seriously for a couple of years. How's it been?
It's been really amazing because I got to, because my mission was originally to.
This is so cute, right?
It's so cute. Yeah.
To share my passion and of yoga, and to share with so many people, share the benefits of yoga, and being on this path, I've been able to reach so many people and be able to inspire so many people and heal so many people. And now also being a vegan chef and sharing all the benefits of a plant-based diet, it's even more amazing.
Wow. Wow. I have no words. The only thing I will say though, okay, for a moment, I just want to take a dig at some people. Okay, I'm sorry, not you guys. I want to take a dig at some people. Okay, when you appeared on my show 4 years ago?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, 4 years ago. I've been doing this. I've been doing this long. Okay, all right. 4 years ago, you appeared on my show, and I went to everybody I knew in the spa industry, and I went to different like hotels and resorts, and I said, you guys are insane if you don't basically get this kid to basically show up and do whatever it is, classes, you know, his heart is in the right place. I mean, how many boxes does he need to tick off for you guys to realize that this is a smart move for you, right? And he was like, me, I don't know, whatever. Okay. And they're going to see this. And I'm doing it on purpose because you people didn't know a good thing when you saw it and you couldn't get out of your own ways. So maybe the coronavirus will get you to change your mind a little bit about a growth mindset versus this sort of bunker mentality. Okay. Because this is what a bunker could look like. You see these people that are right there. Okay. That's their bunker in Arrowhead. Okay. And what are they doing? They're giving yoga classes and having a lifetime of wonderment basically on their own terms. You guys blew it. Okay, there was a chance there for you guys to tie in with Tabay. I mean he's still available, he's still accessible. There's the links on the wall, you can reach out to him.
He's been contacted by all of the high-end resorts on
yes we were there at ground zero. We were there on right, were we not there? We're like, okay, here it is, let's get this going, right? And I do want to give kudos and a shout out to Sue, who is a friend of mine in Arizona. Used to be a program man. Remember Sue? Okay, yeah. Yes. So we'll give a shout out to Sue. Sue, thank you for believing. You saw it. Here it is. She's gonna love that. I know her. She's gonna love that. She's like, see, I told you so. I told you so.
Right? No, she's amazing because anytime Tabay posts, she's one of the first ones to repost it. Yeah. She's one of the ones to share every link that he sends, shares, every TV show, every radio show, every magazine he's been on, whatever it is that he's doing, his website. She's one of the first ones to share it on her page as well and share it, which is really
and you know, for those who are sitting there going, well, are you guys getting paychecks from Tabay or what? No, we're not. That's not what we're doing this, because from day one you realize this young man, his heart was in the right place. I remember the pennies conversation. Yes. Okay, all right. I mean, are you still doing pennies?
Oh my God, he has a serious coin collection.
A serious coin collection.
Actually, before when I was first on the show, I was a penny collector. Now I'm a coin collector. I've upgraded.
You elevated the collection. Okay.
In addition, the big thing is, he's given 100% of the money he's made to helping people who have cancer. Yes. So when you say his heart is in the right place, more than, it's incredible for what he's done. Yeah.
So you also at the time, you were also giving classes for free. You were going in and talking to classrooms, remember, schools, talking about bullying, talking about just having that sort of early on in life, adapting certain things that would be good for you, for your mental well-being, for your just sense of self. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay, I'm not surprised. I saw this.
Wake up spas, wake up hotels.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're still not too late, but you get your act together here.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's you told me off the air, and I'm not going to say it. All right, but there's even more big news coming. Yeah. And we'll probably have Tabay on there, and we'll probably have breakfast together. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Book for 2021 for like 3 months in Europe. Like, people are booking him now for next year to make sure that they get him at the resorts, which is
Sahel. He was. We saw that happen almost immediately, where his availability was like, okay, you got to book it in advance, and right. Just the nature of the appeal. All the shows that you guys have been on. I mean, mom gets a lot of credit too for being that stage mom. Yeah, it's true, right? Okay, but you guys are really cute together, and it works, and so it's wonderful. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing now, that may be either specific to the time period we're in, or things that you're excited on that you're working on.
Yes. Did you come up school already, or?
I did not.
No. We'll leave school. We'll leave school at the end. Just a little cherry on top of the cake.
Yes. So I am right now I'm an ambassador for Kashi, the cereal company, and I'm part of the Kashi Kids crew, and I help to co-create the new cereals and snacks.
That's awesome.
Right? You're
Yeah, also
ambassador.
an ambassador for Alcaviva, a water purification company.
Yep.
And anything else?
Yeah, you're doing your cooking
Yes,
classes.
I'm doing my cooking classes.
See, this is why mom needs to be there, because you forget what the heck you're involved in. At least she. What else was that after the Aquaviva?
I'm doing my yoga classes, my vegan cooking classes.
And you guys see the links behind me, but you go to tabayatkins.com, you can have a link to the classes. Otherwise, it's the link at the top there, tabayatkins.vhx.tv. I just said VHS. I really showed my age, didn't I? Yeah. VHX. Well, when you were saying VHX, I kept thinking VHS. I'm like, why is he on VHS? We're way past that.
But a lot of people also reach out to him on Instagram, which is at Tabay Atkins, and they see, because he puts out weekly free recipe classes during
this month. Because this month, on April 1st, I started a 31-day vegan challenge. And during this month, I have been posting and sharing free vegan recipes so people can make it during this the vegan challenge. And
for this month and halfway into next month, just from the first post that he did, he's gone private cooking classes via Skype
or FaceTime
or FaceTime.
Zoom.
Just from those classes, because they're just like in awe. I mean, they also subscribe to his online where they can get recipes that he shares and yoga videos. But everybody's like, I want to experience it with you at the same time. And so it's just that I see them doing these classes together, and they're just kind of like, I want to be like, focus on the class. They're just in such awe over his just how.
You know what, Tabay, I've seen some people do this on different things, and it's making me think, and I'm not putting you on the spot. You can get back to me on this later, but I'm thinking about it now as we were talking. You know what would be kind of interesting maybe to do is maybe we should basically plan on like a Zoom event, and it could be under the Raad Life, or like a collaboration basically. But we should probably what about we try to do it like a class and a meal, and do that like on a Saturday or something like that, and just basically put it out there and have people be able to register and get on. And it's like you have to literally register to get on. But that could be a kind of a cool way where it's almost like a happy hour. It's a get together. It's a coming together. It's almost like a private chef kind of thing when we can give people in advance.
In Hawaii, once a week we do
we host up to 10 people
for a vegan cooking demo.
Yeah.
So let's try that virtually.
We could. Let's.
And if we want to give people in advance that sign up, like you got to sign up, you get in advance a list of maybe the ingredients that we are going to be using, and then they can basically cook along, and then either before or after, whatever way we want to basically do it. You're the professional. Is we can maybe do some stretching or some yoga or something out of it, and then that basically is a little bit of a time. I mean, we can probably have, I don't have any limitation on my Zoom. We can actually set this thing up as almost like a private cooking and retreat.
Yeah, let's.
And then we can open it up some questions. We can maybe have some conversation. It's going to happen during the cooking part of it anyway.
During the class, like if something's in the oven, they sit
right. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting you on the spot to basically tell me right now, but I'm putting it out there. And if it's something you're interested in doing, let's talk about it offline, because I really would like to consider something like that. Those are meaningful things to offer people right now, right? Yeah.
That's what I was saying. They just get so because he shares with me, he's like, oh, you can sign up on my website. I'm like, I am signed up, but I actually want to take a class with you. I want to ask you questions. I want to meet with you. And the people are just watching him, not even wanting to do it, but they're just watching him and talking to him and just
Well, and we can. I think a situation like that, we should probably consider limiting to maybe a certain number. Like, you don't want it to be so massive that it gets distracting. But
right.
Right. But I think that would be kind of a really cool.
Everyone. Yeah.
It's like come and meet Tabay, and it's almost like an intimate, who doesn't like cooking?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool. That's really cool. And I really am excited about those opportunities, that you're teaming up with some of these companies, because they're smart. They get it. Yeah. You're not going anywhere anytime soon, man. You have a very illustrious path ahead of you. I saw it 4 years ago. You're just starting.
Thank you.
Right. But now, because it is customary that at this time of year we should be talking about something in particular, you know, and that is graduation. I hear that certain congratulations may be in order.
Yes, the day before Thanksgiving of 2019, I graduated from high school 3.5 years early with a 4.0 GPA and all A's and A pluses.
I wanted to like throw a cap right now.
I'm shaking my head in disbelief, right? I mean, it's like it is, and pride, okay? But that's really wonderful. Congratulations, and you are homeschooled.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, just
he started to be homeschooled, you know, shortly after your show because we couldn't keep up with all the expenses and schoolwork. So he just started homeschooling then and just took off because we were filming for 3 weeks at a time or a month at a time for various shows, and then he couldn't do his schoolwork, and then we were off on break and not filming. He would do it and then some, and he would just kept getting more ahead, and he was like, my goal is to graduate in 2021, and then it was it was New Year's Eve.
Then it was 2021. Then it was my birthday, August 7th, 2020.
Yes.
And then it became New Year's of 2000.
As he kept getting closer, he kept adjusting his.
Then Christmas of 2019, and I finished the day before Thanksgiving.
So let me ask you something, Tabay. It's really about what you from your perspective. You're a young man. This what we're going through right now. I mean, congratulations on the graduation, but you know what happens after graduation? You gotta get serious about life now, right?
Well, it's funny. People are like, "So what are you gonna do now?" He's like, "I'm focusing on my career now."
like because he hasn't been. I mean, right? That's the new thing. But in all seriousness, people of your age, I mean, this is a pretty dramatic thing that's going on right now, right? This is not something that you know you've had, you know, crises and things like that in your life, in your own life, and this is pretty shaping. Like, this is going to be something that you will always, like, where were you when the coronavirus was? Well, in your case, it was like, well, I was in Hawaii, I was in Arrowhead, I was in San Clemente, you know, but you will remember this, right? And I'm asking this question, and I want you to put your head in a space where today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day.
Yeah. Yes. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day, right? So, you know, to have a global pandemic taking place while we are as a globe celebrating Earth Day, okay? From your perspective, what do you see? What do you take from this? What do you take from this?
Well, so like you said, this is a very awful thing that's happening right now, very challenging times. But it's good to look at the bright side, look at the positive things. Because if you notice, because of the coronavirus, everyone's staying inside. No one's driving out anywhere. No one's flying, going on trips. And the earth is healing itself during this pandemic. While we're staying at home, the earth has time to heal itself, because for years and years, we've been continuously polluting and destroying earth, destroying all the nature. And now the planet has a chance to heal itself and continue to heal itself. So we're not, after this, I hope that we don't, as a community, as a people, go back to our old ways. We learn from this and then continue to adjust and not go back to our old ways of harming the planet, but take what we've learned from this and better ourselves.
So are you hopeful that this lesson will take? Are you hopeful that this lesson will take maybe with people of certain generation? And because that's the other thing that's at play here, is that this is happening to a younger generation that I believe personally is probably more in tune with that and has been for a while, than maybe others that are older. And it's something that is, I think, an identity of millennials and Gen Zers. It's they're a little bit more. I think they feel stronger and more committed to that. So do you feel that hopeful that this will take, or are we going to basically, again, in 30 days forget all of this and go back to ridiculous consumption and all this stuff that we basically, because I completely agree with you. In fact, I'm a little jaded. I don't believe that only the earth is healing itself. I think there's a part of me that says that earth basically at some point said, you know what, I'm done with you guys. This is ridiculous. I'm just going to take action now.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's actually it's funny because it has
here's a virus. Okay, let's see how you guys do now.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's kind of karma and like reverse what has been happening. We go and see people go to the zoo, go to the aquarium, look at all these animals that are like trapped in these cages in these in the zoos. And then now all the animals are I've seen videos like so many animals are now out because there's less pollution, there's less people around, and now they're watching us trapped in our homes.
Like, there you go.
Yeah, where are the animals in the zoo?
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're still there, of course, unfortunately, but.
No, but it's true. I mean, I mean, there were pictures that were posted about downtown Los Angeles from Echo Park the other day, and there was no smog, and you could, and people were saying, well, wow, I now totally understand why people would move here, because it's like you could see what was there, right? I mean, the planet is almost was given like 30 days reprieve, so it could actually maybe actually repair itself, replenish itself a little bit, right? And it's true. It's I totally agree. Like I said, I'm a little bit malicious, and I'm like, you know what? The Earth basically said, I'm taking action now. You guys are on a death spiral. I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? I was gonna say, because I heard something like you were saying about Los Angeles. I heard something. They said I think something about China having the lowest amount of pollution it's seen in years. Yeah.
But I mean, look at I was joking the other day, and we live in a materialistic society, especially like Southern California, and little flash and 8x10 glossies, and everybody's fronting and posing. Okay, but I said, okay, so most people's measure of status stems from two questions that are probably one of the first things that you ask somebody. I'm not saying that it's right, and I basically detest it, but it is common. Okay, what do you do? What do you drive?
Yeah.
Well, right now,
and
what do you do? Doesn't have a meaning. If you are actually lucky enough to be employed, hurrah! I don't care what it is that you do, because you're not out of those 16 million people that just filed out for unemployment. So I don't really care what you do. I'm not measuring you by what you do. Maybe I'm measuring you by the impact you have and the footprint you leave, and how you leave it better than you found it, and how you leave people better than you found them. Maybe that is what you do, but it's not your job. And definitely don't give a crap about what you drive, because you shouldn't be driving.
Right.
Like I don't care what you have in the garage, because for 30 days, you didn't have to pose and do the selfie in front of your car or whatever. Like, right? Have you noticed how little selfies there are in the last 40 days?
Yes.
It's crazy. I mean, it's wonderful though. It's so wonderful.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. And I wanted to ask you this, because I'm going to probably do a couple 20 minutes or so live on OC Talk Radio about this, and they're like, oh, it's Earth Day, it's 50th anniversary, let's talk about Earth Day. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to talk about Earth Day? And it's like, this is exactly the point. Is I think right now, if we chose to, we could look at the positives, to your point, Tabay, at the positives that are here. Get your head into what is it that we were gifted. I honestly believe that we were all gifted as a globe. We were all gifted the gift of time and self-reflection. Sorry?
It's also a wake-up call.
Yeah, I mean, it's a self-reflection. We were given a pause.
Yes.
Of self-reflection and time. And if we are smart on a personal level and an impact wider level, we will basically understand that it's not about the fact that we will not be able to go back to normal. It's the fact that we don't really want to go back to that, what we deemed as normal, and it is time for a new normal.
Right, and I think this virus has given us a chance to learn so many things and change a lot of the ways that we have been living. Food, very important, because a lot of people haven't realized it, but everything, all these viruses, all these diseases that are out, it has to do with what we eat.
Immunity, gut health, absolutely.
So, like we are eating these, we're eating a lot of things that harm us and causing us to get diseases and illnesses, like how like meat consumption and dairy consumption and eggs, those all contribute to getting diseases. So I think that a lot more people are now realizing that to eat healthier and more mindful of what you're putting in your body.
Yeah.
Rest, sleep, the right amount of, hydration. I mean, we all know the funny thing is we know so much of this already.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't practice it.
Right.
Well, everyone's trying to close their eyes and their ears.
Well, I don't have time to basically be that concerned. I don't have time to be that basic. I got too many busy things going on. And guess what happened just now? You went from 100 miles an hour to whoop, 0.
Yeah. Yes.
And I it's kind of interesting. It makes if you're kind of a believer in spirituality and karma and sort of balance and energy, you go, this is kind of wild that this is not only like an area, this is global phenomena. We all as a human race went from being allowed to basically move as fast as we want, and we were put into standstill.
Yes.
Like, when was the last time you would even comprehend that was a possibility?
Never. I didn't think that would happen.
Today, no one would really imagine, like, oh, we have to stay at home. We can't go out anywhere. We can't do all this things that we used to be doing.
Whatever we want to do, right?
And be okay with it, because if I don't know about you, I'm basically questioning whether those things were really that important.
Right.
It makes you. I mean, if you
become more aware.
More aware
really
of what's important, what's not important, and it's really a good time to just reflect on everything.
Yes.
And now people who are like, oh, I don't have time to do this for myself. I don't have time for that. You know how many people, hundreds of people have already in this last 31-day challenge from April 1st, he started, have been saying, I've always wanted to cook. I've always wanted to try something new. I never had the time. I was always busy. And now I have the time. And now I'm going to make, but so many people are saying the same thing. I didn't have time. Well, you did.
Well, you didn't. We didn't have time because we loaded it with other stuff. I mean, it's kind of really interesting. So because we didn't talk about it, tell people about the challenge that you're talking about.
So my challenge, I started it on my social media, and I started April 1st, and it's a 31-day vegan challenge. So for every week this month, I upload and post and share a video of a vegan recipe, and people can cook what I share with them, and they can learn how to make vegan food and eat vegan food for 31 days and hopefully longer, see how they feel and the changes that they've made.
And people from all over the world have been joining. Right. Hong Kong, Singapore,
Iran,
Australia, Iran,
UK,
Buenos Aires, Costa Rica, you name it. Everyone has been joining this challenge, and it's been really nice to see people.
And people are saying, oh, I eat this food all the time, and I tried your recipe making it vegan, and it tastes so much better. I can't believe it.
Yeah, the good thing is we're sharing recipes of what people are used to eating every day. If it's a burger, fried chicken, Persian food, kebab, and just the things that people are used to eating. And so we're just veganizing it and being like, listen, you guys can still have the flavor.
Veganizing, is that an official term, veganizing?
I guess some people use it.
Yeah,
hashtag veganizing.
And like you said, people to eat foods that they're used to, and not just, oh, well, I'm used to eating these, but what people are used to eating from all over the world. So things that we're used to eating aren't what people in some other part of the world are used to eating. So I make it food from all.
No, I think that's smart, because it's also you're not challenging people to have to disrupt where they're at and where their comfort zone is. You're just basically adding a different twist to it.
Yeah. Yes. And then everyone's like, I just did not think it was going to taste like, and my dad, who was like the least vegan ever. He's like, when he first came here to visit us, he's been here almost 2 months.
Over 2 months.
Oh, over 2 months.
About 2
and he's like, don't try to make me vegan. I'm not going to change. I'm almost 80 years old. And I'm like, okay, well, while you're here, you really don't have a choice, because this is all we have. But we started the challenge with my dad, and that's why we shared it, because he was like, Dad, how about we do it with my followers? And my dad is very honest about about taste. If he tastes something, he knows we're not going to get offended because we all have different taste buds.
Right.
But every single thing we've made, he's been like, this is vegan. Like, it reminds him of what my mom has made for the 52 years they've been married, you know? And it just shocked. He just blown away. And then when he sees the ingredients, the simple ingredients we're using, he's like,
by the way, when you said what his reaction was, you sounded so Persian. This is vegan. I'm just okay. So no, it's true. I mean, I look. There's a chef that I know that has a. I'm gonna give a plug to her, Kimmy Tang, Chef Kimmy Tang, who I had the pleasure of designing restaurants for them called 9021 Pho in LA. There's about five of them we opened in a period of about 3 years. They're closed, but the chef is still around, and she actually has a restaurant in Pasadena called Mon Chéri. I think Mon Chéri or Mon Ami, one or the other. I'm sorry, but look up Chef Kimmy Tang, and you could KIMMYTANG. Her food was very vegan. Like, I mean, I had chicken and fish that was not chicken and fish. I ate it like it was amazing, and it was, GMO free, low sodium. In fact, one of the things I do, and I've been doing it more, and I'll probably post a video doing it, but I do a 1 inch of grated ginger every morning with hot water and just literally in the microwave. You know, you need the right grater that's like for spices or something. So you can get it really small. But I learned that from one day being at that when we were doing the restaurants, being sicker than a dog, and walking in there, and I was really bad. And they're like, you need to get something. I said, okay, I don't know what. And I'm thinking they're going to give me soup. And they come up with like a soup container, styrofoam soup container, not very environmentally friendly, but okay. And they basically had boiled Coca-Cola and ginger. And they basically gave it to me. I drank that thing like it was going out of style and then asked for another one. Okay. Because and then they proceeded to tell me it was a 200-year-old or 2,000-year-old Chinese recipe. And I'm like, where do you get Coca-Cola in China 200 years ago? Right? So
the real ingredient we just modified.
Well, they just modified it because it was basically sugar water is what they were talking about, right? And then come to find out that in Asia, ginger and soda is sold warm during the winter season, out of like vending machines, dispensed out of like can machines. And the reason why, because ginger has the properties for what's it called, cardiovascular and for your respiratory system. And so I loved, and then the sugar water basically caramelized it. So you had the soothing on the throat, and you had the ginger. It was basically a huge Ricola drink, right? But with Coca-Cola or Pepsi, depending on which one you wanted. And so I don't do it with that because of the soda, but I do twice a day in the winter. I do a neti pot. I do a eucalyptus spray in the shower, right?
Yeah, we do the same thing. We start our morning with celery juice.
So food, so for if you're in that sort of self-maintenance, self-wellness regimen, exploring food alternatives, again, because the connection with immunity, which is at the core of this whole thing with coronavirus, is your immunity, your health and your immunity, your gut health, your probiotic, your healthy bacteria in there. I mean, when you're eating, and I will never probably 100% vegan. I mean, I'm not going to get there, right? I'm not going to get there. You can close your ears all day long. I'm not going to get there, right? I come from a family that's carnivores. If I go 100% vegan, I will lose my family card. Yeah, I know. I said that on purpose. You're right. But I don't know that. I mean, when I say that, I could probably give up red meat. I probably would like seafood. I just like seafood a lot. I like sushi. Right?
We do sushi. We do everything. We do seafood. We do calamari.
I know. Okay, so you know what? You're just gonna have to convince me. When we have our Veganize with Tabay event.
There you go. That we'll definitely do it for that reason.
The Veganize with Tabay. Yeah, come convince me. Come convince me.
yesterday because my dad's like, he likes to have feta cheese and eggs, and we've been making it, and he literally likes it more than the regular.
I actually am okay with the cheese. I actually switched to like almond cheese and things of that nature. That was, you know, I mean, I was laughing because I love doing like tortillas with Mexican cheese. I love that. Like this is a go-to. So, you know, low carb, GMO-free tortillas with almond-based Mexican cheese. When I found almond-based Mexican cheese, I cracked up laughing. I'm like, okay, great. We're in business now. We're good. I have no issues now, right? For those late night snacks that I want, I need to have a little carbs. But I think this is definitely an amazing time to self-reflect and change maybe what we do.
Oh, one of the things that you said earlier, it reminded me of, I actually did recently a video of an elderberry syrup that helps with your immune system and helps to fight cold and flu. So it prevents you from getting the cold or the flu.
Yeah.
If you have a cold or if you have a flu, then it shortens the length that you have it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, before people had both the means and the availability of things that are, you know, and I'm not a believer in it, but it's like, you know, like crazy medication, right? Everything is a pill solution. Oh, you have what? Here's a pill. Oh, you have what? Here's a pill. You have a reaction to that pill. Well, here's another pill to take care of the reaction to that pill. Oh, you can't sleep because of the second pill. Well, here's another one to put you to sleep. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And your body, I mean, I have avoided that as much as possible because I'm a firm believer, if your body gets accustomed to something, that's effectiveness is not there. So if you really get sick to where you need the assistance of something that you cannot, you know, and it's critical, I don't want to basically have my body not be pristine and clean enough that it basically positively has an effect on me. But that being said, all those countries, all those people that basically have had to fend for other alternative sources that didn't have the financial means to basically pay for expensive drugs or insurance, there was ways to survive. There was ways to basically take care of these things. I'm just kind of thrilled to be honest today because sometimes it's conversation. Sometimes it's, well, you know, it's the old hippies. There's the people that are, you know, tree hugging. Yeah. I know. I did not point my finger at you, but I shook my head. Yes, the old hippies in the room, you know.
So that's what I used to think before. Like people who were vegan that were our friends that were trying to get us to go vegan. I was like, they don't listen to them. Like they're just hippie, like yogis.
They're just strange. They're strange. They live in communes. We don't deal with them.
Like they don't know what they're talking about because I just feel like, you know, we've been programmed to think and feel that this is what we're supposed to do and eat. But there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, eventually if you listen to it and all these documentaries with an open mind, it's, you know, for so many reasons to, even if it's not 100% to be vegan, I tell my dad, I was like, I'm just happy that you're doing it.
Right.
I'm just happy that you incorporate.
You're open enough to try it. I mean, you know, when I turned this show into a daily, one of the first things we were talking about was, this is a time to not say why and kind of argue yourself out of something. This is a time to actually say, why not?
Right. That's really great. Yeah.
Right. So it's why not? And so why not try this? Why not explore that? You know, usually if you're really solid and confident in your position, on your take on certain things, you are open to actually saying why not to things. I find that it's when you are not, when you're really deep down inside, when nobody's looking, you're not really solid in your footing, is when you say, no, why should I do that? Because if you are solid, the why not doesn't shake it. The why not basically is just another alternative opinion. And that goes across the board, whether it's your food, whether it's your mindset, whether it's your politics, whether it's your everything, you know. So with that being said, because I need to wrap it up, and I know I took up a lot of airtime, but, you know, I love talking to you guys. I want to point out, everybody, jump on tabayatkins.com. If you're not following this guy, you guys are nuts. So, you know, all I have to say to you is, why not? Why aren't you following this guy? Go follow this guy. He's got live yoga sessions. He's got a whole bunch of things. He's got, the website's great. I was checking it out while we were on the air here. There's a lot of information on there. Keep your ears and eyes open, because it sounds like to me like we may be veganizing with Tabay at some time at a near event online virtually.
Yeah.
So and then there's big news coming, and I'm not going to share it, but I'm going to have him back on again for that real soon. I think it's real soon, right?
Yes,
Next month.
Next month. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to the website, subscribe to his channel, look him up on social media. Guys, thank you so much.
Oh, there's one, yeah, thank you. There's one other thing I forgot is that every Friday it's at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that I teach my free class. And
On his Instagram Live.
on my Instagram Live at Tabay Atkins.
The early graduate gets the last word.
Well, he'd like to
Yeah,
finish.
I like to finish the way I finish all my classes.
Go ahead.
Bring your hands together, bring it to your forehead, and repeat after me. Think good thoughts.
Think good thoughts.
Lower it to your mouth. Speak kind words.
Speak kind words.
Lower it to your heart. Feel love.
Feel love.
Be love.
Be love.
Be love.
And give love.
And give
And give love.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you very much, guys.
So much.
Thank